Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Upscale podcast where we speak all things steel pan. And today we have our co-host, me, myself, Mr. Kareem King, aka TJ,
No, Christopher.
Jawan Henry.
and we have our special guest today, the world-renowned Mr. Khan Cordice. I knew he was gonna do that. Because he's not a boy. I knew he was gonna do that. Just wanted to say, it's lovely being back. Um, I've been out for a little while, so lovely having my good friend, good friend, family brother from another mother. Um, very impactful in the community in music, steel pan, just being around. Mr. Khan Cordice. So we're happy to have him here, and we're gonna be speaking today about his experiences with with the bands from Trinidad in terms of Exodus for his drilling from last year, as well as his new venture this year, which he will tell us all about. So, Mr. Cordice, how are you? How are things?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back on Upscale. Looking forward to a great year, 2024. So wishing everybody a happy new year. For this year, we're just going forward with the same mindset to continue to push the boundaries of music and of my talent, especially and also to better the people that I'm around. So whether it be through music, whether it be just in shared experiences, we're gonna try to see how we can make everybody better in 2024.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, what are some of the plans that you have coming out for 2024? Just so.
Well, as it stands now in my private professional life, it's going to Trinidad to work with two bands, Exodus as driller for this year, and we've been having conversations a lot over the last couple of weeks. They're very excited and awaiting my return. And the new band that I'll be working with as a ranger this year is the Arima Angel Harps, AH. On that venture in the medium band category. So it's new for me, in Trinidad to be arranging for a medium band. But the medium band falls right under the large band. It's probably one of the most competitive categories there. So looking forward to that. The experience is going to be a little different because I'm contracted to be in the yard at Exodus, but I'll be, doing a lot of work with Angel Harp. So we've already started doing the work, overseas. They already have music, and they'll be looking forward to entering the competition. I think the quarterfinals are going to be coming up shortly. So looking forward to it. That's just about it. I know the players are excited. The conversations that we've had so far is that music is a bit challenging, right? But they're excited about it and happy and they want to push their best foot forward, especially when it comes to the low pans. So for those people who don't know me, I'm very much fun for writing. The middle pans, you had to talk. The middle pans had to speak, you had to put in the work.
Sing.
I remember just recently having a conversation with a driller that's at the Remake Angel House, that's Akil Brown. And I said, listen, middle pans had to bark a bit more than that. They had to be a bit more in your face. So, for that experience, and what they're telling me is that they're getting better from this experience, So that's what I'm saying, whatever I can do to help to make people better in whatever spaces we share, that is what I'm about for 2024.
All right. Well, I was actually going to ask you about some of the challenges, but not only that, I was going to mention that I know that your style, of course, is the middle, the cellos and them singing, right? What I wanted to ask, is it going to be a different approach, or what would be the difference, if so, from what you would have done with the Hell's Gate Steel Orchestra in Antigua and National Youth Steel Pan Orchestra as well. So I haven't seen you arrange for Clay Hall.
Understand.
Clay Hall would have been one of the other persons, and then that you would have arranged competitively.
So competitively, I've arranged for in the last couple of years. So Clay Hall being small, the Caribbean Union Bank, Hell's Steel Orchestra. Well, NYPO was a while ago.
Yeah.
Competitively, a bunch of small, like Foresight. That kind of thing.
25 side, no?
I've done 25 side with Hell's Gate and with NYPO. Last time would have been in 2016. And then after that, I made it my business to ensure that other people have that opportunity to arrange that capacity. So this is how Jawan got in more recently.
Defending champion, actually.
Yeah, and then before that, Dimitri, Kivani,
Danny got a
Danny,
chance.
who was there. I feel like I'm Robert Quinton. Actually, Jawan had a range with Robert Quinton actually a while ago. When they did Crazy.
Yeah.
2017, right?
Yeah.
So, I made it my business because we need to continue to develop people. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know, we just don't know. And we want to continue to develop people in the process. You don't want to have a case where you're out there and you just think you're going to be living forever or you're going to be in the space forever.
Yep, life is
And then,
unpredictable.
we're talking about building legacy and continuing tradition. So you have to continue to nurture people. So even just recently with this Jawan's arrangement at with the 25 aside, we had
What was the name of that one?
what's the name of the song again?
Where do I begin?
Where do I begin?
Oh, yes,
Right?
yes.
I mean, we had quite a bit of conversation throughout the process, and for me, I learn a lot from those experiences, but also I just love being a part of it. But competitively, I've also arranged for Parkside Steel Orchestra in Guyana
Oh, yes.
in the competition there. I've done that for 2 years, 3 years.
How are they competitively? How the placement
So
looking
they've
so far?
come second and a third, or 2 seconds and 1/3. 2 seconds and 1/3. I think that's how it works.
Making waves in the Caribbean.
Yeah, just so this one here, in terms of you were asking about the differences, the approach for every competition is different. Yes, you have your style, but then it's, when you look at the competition, for me, I like to kind of study everything and kind of come up with a strategy. I've been following Trinidad Panorama for the last 20 or so years, just about thereabout, and you realize, when I said that the medium band is probably one of the most competitive categories,
Definitely.
it's because you would have been studying it over the years. It's the category where
Played in it
Duvan only in the last 10 years would have been the only person to be like the consecutive winner.
consistently. Yeah,
Right,
consistently.
with Pan Elders, when he was at Pan Elders. But outside of that, every year is a different winner.
Somebody else.
So it's really competitive. Large bands tend to be, I mean, it is competitive, but it can go be the front
Wow
runner
factor
for-
can show off somebody, but medium doesn't seem to have that.
So you can approach it that way. The music in Trinidad for Panorama also is generally a bit more aggressive, a bit more in your face than that in Antigua. And it's not necessarily a better or worse situation,
Just a
but
different
in Trinidad you get your plenty runs and your it's up there in your face, really aggressive.
Adrenaline, they're pumping
That is
energy.
how that is how it is. The music, a lot of flair and that kind of thing. Very different if you were to go to some place like London, to Notting Hill, for Panorama and participate there. There's a bit more relaxed. I mean, again, it's not about better or worse or anything. It's just understanding the climate and the approach to the music. So with Angel Harps, it's a similar thing. So you'll hear a lot of me being there, but you'll also hear probably something a little different to what you would have gotten from like Hell's Gate. So a bit more work on the front line. Really emphasizing that. Just generally aggressive throughout the music, but I still try to bring my programmatic side of it to the music itself, and just trying to explore the different textures where music is concerned, and really try to explore the phrases of the tune and the overall theme. Right, and that's something that we've been building over the last couple of weeks. We're just wrapping up the tune now, so I'm actually looking forward to hearing the complete product when all the players have learned all the tunes, and we'll take it from there.
Any questions so far? Because you don't know it is. Because I have my questions in them, but you let me know what you guys.
Well, I've actually been listening and I'm taking in.
I'm taking what
what
you
is
know.
being said here.
My question to Khan would be like, how hard it is for you to sustain what you're doing,
Consistency.
being consistent with it, and balancing family, work, play.
Yeah, I think that is the question that most people give me, which is a hard question to answer, but I don't know, it's tough. It's tough because ideally I would love to be a full-time creative, right? Because it's just when I'm in that space and in that zone, you're there, it's
Your element. That's your element.
you understand? When I sit down writing, I was telling a friend just recently, so I can sit down and just write a whole panorama tune. I can, if I wanted to. But what would happen is the inside of me will be like, it just sounds too normal. You know, it's just you can't just regurgitating information, which it is, you know. And I mean, I guess it's fine for some people to just sit down and just throw out information, but I like to get like these aha moments. You know, I remember working on a part and like, you know, yeah, do I want to continue this progression here for the rest of the minor, for example, like just recently? Do I want to continue this? Yes, I can, but
But you want something different.
something. I don't feel like, yes, boy, this is what it is. Yeah. So I said, I walk around the room, I stare at the wall. There's different things inspire me, right? Walk around the room, look at the wall. There, so I was trying to play the part from before my head. And it's like, let's double the length of the phrase. And then that opened the door, right? So the phrase was short. It was like
What song are you playing? Sorry,
we're doing
this song.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder
By who?
by Mighty Duke.
Mighty Duke.
It's Thunder, I think some people call it. If I want to hold you tonight, it's Thunder.
Okay.
I'll give you Thunder.
I just wanted to make sure that the audience knows what it was, of course. You know, but so now you're gonna give the example of what I was saying. I just wanted them to have an idea.
So all right, good. So yeah, so the chords were like 4 beats long. So the minor start off. We would have extracted just the motive. If I only hold you tonight is, but we don't finish the phrase. So like you delay the outcome. So song original, if I only hold you tonight is thunder, right?
We delay the thunder.
If I only hold you tonight is, if I only hold you tonight is, if I only hold you tonight is thunder, right? So the phrases, the chord progressions are like 4 beats long. So when I said no, okay, for me it's like the opening or the introduction to the main minor theme. That's how I hear it in my
That's
head.
introducing the motives, isn't it?
So then I said, I can continue that progression. I was like, nah. But this is something about it. So when I got that aha moment to extend that phrase now, so we moved from 4 beats to 8 beats. So like now the verse now, we're actually trying to get your message across. Let's give it a bit more time for that message to come across. And what I did, as opposed to doing the melody the exact same way in the flat tune, in form, but also minus changing a few notes, so it sounds exactly identical. Just pull out the phrase, just displace the entire thing. So there's the gal, you really know how to tease, this is the verse. So usually it's 1, 2, gal, you really know how to tease, that's beat 1. Here's one. We can shorten all of that. So we bring everything in, and it's just right on beat 1. 1. Then they really know how to tease. You can do whatever you please. Dun, 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 and they build from there. So the whole thing is shifted. It's not before the beat coming on beat 1. It's actually after beat 1 into beat 2. And you bring the phrases close together and you build from there. And it actually continues the idea of the melody. So this is where the melodic development come in. It continues. Say you're inside the band, you're whining on man, right? So you just take that whole entire and just redevelop it completely. So now, when that idea comes out, this is the aha, right? So okay, I can build from this now. So I've already made my statement. I need to continue to send that message or continue the statement and develop it right until the end. So when that happens now, for me, when I get those aha moments, I'm like, yes.
At rest.
And what happens usually when I do that, I find it's easy for me to like, one, explain it, but it's also easy for people to get it.
Organic.
Yeah.
It's more organic.
That's the term I do there. It's more organic than just sitting down and writing. So in terms of being creative, because that's how this whole conversation started, if I had more time, you mentioned about balancing work. Like work is tough. Work is not an 8-hour day. Sometimes it's 15 hours, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 25 hours, because that's the nature of the work that I do in my formal capacity. But I also have to carve out time for family. You understand? My kids, my wife, and just being in the space, going home, taking them to school, that kind of thing. So as a creative, it's difficult. No, I'm in Antigua and this is happening in Trinidad. And I can't be down there for 2 months or 3 months or whatever. And, but the music has to get started. And this is where you're having a team. I mean, for this team, it's new, but having a team that believes in you as the arranger, it's the first time for them. But I feel like I have that support from them.
Team.
And luckily as well, throughout the process, I found out that somebody that I went to school with, is a part of the management team, who's very capable. So Tanya, big up to Tanya whenever you see this.
Big up Tanya.
I even sent her the song for minutes to say, man, until you write the song about you.
Oh, boy. In all honesty, I think Tanya might be the only Tanya I know.
This is so I said.
So every time I hear the song, honestly, you know, and I say that thing about Tanya, I don't want to make it sound bad. but that's the one person.
So that's
But yeah,
sent it to them. She's like, you know, the man really write the song for real name Tanya, but yeah. Yeah, it's just-
yeah, but you know, we have a lot more to discuss because I want to know about the difficulties as well. What are the most challenging parts that you have? But we will do so after we come back after the break. So we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Upscale podcast where we speak all things steep and related. Your co-host, Mr. Kareem King, also known as TJ,
No, Christopher.
Jawan Henry.
and our guest today was Mr. Khan Cordice. We'll just be continuing from where we left off from the interview. So I'm going to have a question for our guest, and the question is, what are some of the most, well, not what are some of the most difficult? What was the main difficulty, I should say? I wanted to know what the main difficulty with you operating from here versus you being on site and delivering.
Yeah. So that's a good question. Because for me, it's I like being very hands on. I like, even though, you may have a driller come in, because I know generally how exactly I want the music to be played, how I want it to be executed, so there are different types of arrangers. There are arrangers who can, come up with a creative process, they put on the music, and a driller will come in to help to shape and to clean up. I can do everything, and normally when I think about something, everything is intentional. So, usually the crescendos, decrescendos, all type of expressions, they're not added after the fact. They're very much included in the process because they have some sort of meaning that goes towards the overall impact. So in terms of not being there, it's different. I like distributing the music. I like getting into the player's mind. For me, it's very much mental, the process, not just physical or well, physical, right? So
I also know that not to cut in, not to cut you off, but I also know for a fact. Now, we would have worked for years and years and years together, and I know that this is one of the points that they said you like to be there and hands on. The explanations,
Yeah.
a lot of explanations as to why you're doing this, why it's important and whatnot. So I know for sure that would have been a tricky part for you.
Yeah.
To if not probably writing it in on the score for
Well,
this
that's
part.
it.
You understand? So
Actually
for sure
did.
that yeah.
Actually did that, there was actually, so you make these little notes inside there. And I remember same Tanya, she sent back a screenshot in our group chat, and she's like, I mean, really, you have to put this
So
in on the
detailed.
score? I said, well, yeah, because I want you to understand that this is the intention.
Okay, so for the listeners who are not aware, so for instance, we would have mentioned that he's sending music over. There are other ways to send music over. Some persons would record a tenor pan playing the part and whatnot. So when we're speaking here, we're speaking about scoring,
Scores,
and then
yes.
music score, music notation.
Correct.
And within the scores, even it's not only just the music notes you will be seeing, but you would actually have indications or instructions along with the scores. So that's why I was asking him
Right,
about.
so if you notice here, and people can see, I don't know if they can see, but it says here, relax,
Allow middle pans to lead.
Yeah. And now
Very
in
detailed,
the high
very, very
pans,
detailed.
because I mean,
And I think that's probably one, because you mentioned consistency as well, just bringing in Norel and my boy Jawan as well. He mentioned, how are you so consistent? But I believe that it's because of that process that you would have standardized. Not standardized, but like your, not muscle memory, but you would have been doing it so
Right.
often
Right.
and being detailed so often that it's easier now for you to be consistent
Right.
with what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it became my standard, really.
Mhm.
That is what it is. And in working with people, I try to share that. Because for me, it works, right? It works. And
Kentucky now change the recipe.
right. And, it is about, again, bringing everybody a part of the process, making everybody
Feel involved.
right, feel involved. So, I mean, yes, it's a cello solo, but then sometimes, the tenor's not
Interaction.
appreciating that it's a cello solo. So, I understand, I don't necessarily want it to play soft, but you're definitely not playing. Just relax.
You're not
Just cool. Just sit back, right?
You're not
Allow the cello. That's a cello line inside of the same song, right? So yeah, give them some space, right? And but how the tenor parts are written as well. It's written like that, there's not a lot of runs going on. But so they already have space. But even in that, just understand. Just relax. Allow the cello
Give
to
them
do
their
what they need to do.
their
Give
time.
them time. You have your time.
You had
all
your
the
time. You don't
So,
start.
the challenge is, not being there, and I'm very expressive, trying to explain to them. And I find like when you get into people's mental space, it's much easier when you start doing your every night drilling and that kind of thing. Because it might best be just a little trigger just for them to do something. They come in the yard, after you've already have that implemented, you go into the yard one night and something are playing. Guys, remember you're supposed to, okay, from that I'd start playing it properly again. So that is where, you're trying to shape
The
people's
drilling
mind.
comes into that as well.
Right.
The drilling, those are cues that, well, we would have
Right.
drill as well.
When you go on the night of the show, the competition, you just need to say a few things. Bam, bam. Remember, guys, do this. Remember that. So now that you have to stop inside of on the drag, as they call it in Trinidad, and be drilling a part over and over and over. It might be running just to keep people warm. But if you realize you're not doing something, guys, just remember.
And
It's there.
sometimes as well, to add to what he was saying, to what he's saying is not only that it's about saying something to remind them. Remember, you have to play that. Sometimes the signal.
Yeah, just
So you literally can say, you remember for this part, it's supposed to be louder. So by the time you do this in front, you know that the persons who you would have indicated that
Right.
during the rehearsals may see that signal.
And
And
it's
so it's that
automatically.
muscle memory as well as the
Yeah.
consistency of doing the same things
Right.
so that they are
So even
rehearsed.
so that's something you generate over the season. So not being there, they don't have that. I mean, something as simple as being in front of the band. I know for some people they see it as show the person that's in front there dancing and
Dancing,
masquerading
hyping
themselves.
up the crowd.
For me, I see myself there, actually conducting certain things. Even though you're part of the overall performance, it is trying to just make sure those cues, sometimes in that moment, some people, they're frightened, they're nervous, whatever. And some people, they just lose it, they're lost in the music. Somebody is just there to say,
Focus.
it's coming. Or the crescendo coming, and it's a clean cut, right? It's not a decrescendo into the crescendo, as we call it. Some people, they start preparing for the crescendo early. Now we're going straight to the cliff
And
and
then-
then drop off, right? So, guys, we're coming, and we're coming down, right? So you see me in front actually doing some cues, and again, this is something that you develop over the season. So that is, I think, for me, is the main challenge. But I have a competent team that I'm working along with, and we're gonna make things work. We're gonna make things work.
Let me bring in one of the questions. I will have questions on top of questions, but I also want to make sure that we, so any
as-
question,
As kind of talking, I'm here.
taking everything. You're seeing the whole process going on the line, right?
Yeah, because I look up to this guy. And,
We all do.
That's true. That's only a shine person.
so as he's talking, you'd see me here. People watching would see me. I'm just like here, just
Internalizing
listening,
everything and taking it in.
internalizing,
Yeah, I understand.
taking it into my mental notes for when
Uh-huh.
I would probably have the opportunity to think. So for me,
Definitely. No, I see over the boys now and over there in touch, boy. And rightfully so, when we give Jack the jacket when a time and give the jewels when a time. So, and that is somebody and just in the middle of it, we're not waiting until Khan gone for tell Khan. We appreciate him and the music and the impact that he would have made with our young people and not even the young, the old, and everybody. You understand? Well, let me not say everybody, because everybody is everybody, but most persons that he would have interacted and imparted his knowledge with. So that's telling you, thank you very, very much as well. We appreciate the work that you are doing and continue doing it.
And I appreciate all your.
Yeah, thank you, man.
For
Nobody
having-
have a question? Or is
Yeah,
it?
so for me, as Jawan said, I'm over here And can you say a lot of things? And I'm like, boy, I've seen him do it before.
Yep.
And we go on stage and you hear the crowd, and can you say, guys, oh.
Yeah.
And then when he says that, you're like, your brain, everything just
Remind.
shifts
Oh
out.
yes, true,
And you
true,
start
true.
to think about first not being again.
Yeah.
And you get into the
Yeah,
mood
get
now.
in the mindset,
Yeah.
man.
Already getting into the mental space that you had a panorama Santa Fe. And then because as he said,
Mission.
I can only imagine how hard it is for them. Because one of the big things for me is having candor. Because there are things that he do in front that when you look up, you expect it. So you're playing now, you might in the mood, but then when you see him come in front, because you'll be jamming now, but you know he wants your attention because he's gonna come in the center. And he's gonna demand your attention.
I'm sure the space, you
When
gotta
he
make
plays,
use of the
he will
space.
tell you, he gives you the signal and you know exactly
What
you
it is supposed to be
maybe
at
the
that time.
section you're supposed to pull back and give the triples. And then you had the triples singing in the part, or maybe you want the drummers. And you watch our videos, you see, you give Sean or IB or whoever the drummer is at the back. Even in Exodus, you see there was a part that had this clean cushion last year. And if you all remember it, but then went right down back.
I think that's the ending.
Yeah. And you saw him demand that attention.
Early,
Everybody just
second
came
before.
down. And that real nice.
And in that moment, I'm looking at all the troublemakers too. It makes sure my eye contact with them because I want to make sure that this is what it is. Man.
But what I was gonna, my question now, so all very good discussion as well. My question would have been towards the drilling aspect and the conducting aspect. So as we would have spoken before, driller. That's why I identify as not an arranger. I don't consider myself to be an arranger, honestly. I think that I understand certain things, so I utilize what I understand. But it's not like my passion necessarily. But as a driller now, it's interesting hearing how you mention certain things. But my question will be, as a driller or as and the conductor, because not always the driller is not always in front, right? But bridging the gap between a driller and a conductor, a driller may necessarily be dealing with the band and signaling the band. Conductor not necessarily. The conductor may have other roles. So I'm going towards where my friend, if I remember, is it Dr. Wooten boy? I think it's Dr. Wooten, his doctorate in conducting. He mentioned that, I think it was him. I cannot. Let me not say. Yeah. But the person mentioned that as a conductor, one of the roles is to direct the ears of the listener.
Right.
So not only the band looking at you, but for instance, you might turn around and tell the audience or signal to the audience, okay, this is the part that we're gonna anticipate it. You know what I mean?
It's not a turn. It's not a telling not turnaround. Really.
Not turn around, but you're indicating
You're
certain
giving
things.
some cues. And I mean, for some people it's deliberate, some people it's not. But there's a level of that happens. Some people say that's a part of the trick of the trade.
Yeah,
but for those people who are watching you intently, so first and foremost, you really need to grab the attention. Because if you don't grab the attention, if the band don't sound good, no care how many you try to point in the areas, it just don't work. So you try to do all that. So it's a full process.
Yeah, full.
But yes, there's a level of that happens because when you're telling somebody, like you'd point out to the cellos and you tell the middle pants
And audience is seeing this.
they're going to
this
see
again
that,
as well.
so they're going to be like, oh, what is going to happen? You know, so they know that something is going to be happening in that area. As it relates to drilling, like you mentioned, so last year I drilled for Exodus. That was a very new experience for me. Not drilling, but drilling in that capacity. It's very, very
Being the
different,
main driller.
right? When you step into the yard, I remember when I came off the plane, I got picked up by Exodus, and the man just said, "Khan, you're going to make the difference."
Just so.
So I looked over at him. I said, I'm not the arranger.
Yeah.
I'm just the driller. He's like, no. You're going to make the difference. That's why we brought you here. You're going to make the difference. And I love the Exodus. It's my family.
Believe
going
in
into the yard, yeah.
The support.
Yeah.
The support. That's
Going to the yard and, it is, BJ Marcel, world renowned, established champion arranger.
New
Was
York
very,
as well, right?
New York, St. Vincent, so he's done work, but very competitive in that small band arena with his band,
Golden
Symphony. I think you played with them one year.
Yeah, I played Triphonic.
Um,
Yeah.
So
They got Ming.
So
boy, big up,
you
boy,
go
big
into
up
the
fat.
yard and you're meeting this arranger for the first time, and I can only imagine in his mind he's thinking, I mean, they bring another arranger to come and oversee,
Yeah.
you know, which wasn't the case at all. You know, it was me coming to support the work that he's doing and to support his creative process and to really bring to life what it is he intends. Right, at the end of the day, we are working for the same team, and we've grown a very good relationship since then. Last year, you know, just going back and forth. I know my ideology is a little different from, you know, managing the active group. And why I say the active group, because it is managing the band, which is the organization. In this case, the active group is just for the panorama for this particular competition or performance. So, you know, it is my idea behind it is if you bring me in, and sometimes you kind of have to be a bit forceful in a sense, you know, that, okay, I mean, if you bring me in, the expectation is I'm going to do it my way because there has to be a reason why you call me, right?
Not to do it your way.
Exactly. So, you know, but also believe in
Balance.
you know, finding that middle ground, right? So, you know, speaking with him, going back and forth with him, you know, and then we meet in the day, discuss, you know, what is it he's looking for, and then how can I make him better when you go into that space, right? Because at the end of the day, ultimately, he's a creative genius. How do I make what he's doing better? Right? I'm a part of the team. He's the head of the team. So we, you know, we continue to have those conversations. So going into the yard, I know for Exodus, it was very different, the drilling process. Because again, it's very mental. You understand me? I mean, I think at the end of the day, people need to know what is it that they're playing, even if they don't understand it fully in a technical term. They need to know that here's what, if I want a crescendo, this is the expectation. And I can give demonstrations. If it is that I like something as simple as when people are thinking about drilling, thinking it's going and you have people running over and over and over, eventually, right? No. Let me dissect it. Let me take it in sections. I may have you run it for us a couple of times so that I can get an appreciation for what it is. I talk to the driller about what I think can happen, what some of the things that we can do, just to make a better impact. But some as simple as people sticking, right? The way that they think can make a big difference. Yes. One in the base section last year, and it's just something muddy. I didn't have enough time to clean it up for the prelims. I remember after the prelims, it's like a couple of days before the semifinals, right? Anyway, we did some cleaning up, but most of the cleaning up happened in between semifinals and finals. And you go behind and watch the base section, run it over and over because now I'm trying to figure out why is issue. It's just what 4 or 5 notes. It wasn't a lot of notes. Go behind and you see people flinging their body all the way. Like, I mean, it looks good, I guess, but the idea first is never to look good, but it's to sound good. Yeah, the music is important. So if you're gonna compromise the sound, forget about it.
The style, left the style.
Forget about it, right? If you're gonna compromise the sound, forget about it. So you go through as a driller, you know, you wanna those little things you wanna clean up on a bigger level now, on a more macro level, the overall sound of the band. Right? Sometimes you may have, as a driller, because of time, you may have to sacrifice working out some small little issues. Once you can get an overall sound that you're satisfied with. So, you know, coming here again, you know, a crescendo, yeah, from soft to loud or for gradually getting louder by definition. But what if it is that you're trying to build something? So like the ending, I knew the Sylvan was going to go crazy with that ending, as we were going to change it. We were going to change it. Like, yo, boss, we can't do that.
Yeah, left that day.
I stand up in front that the Savannah for the semifinals in front of the audience in the yard on the prelims, and I'm telling you, when you get down to that part and we do that crescendo, you start hearing people shouting and clapping.
Even during the crescendo.
Let us now make it even more impactful. So leading right up to that crescendo, well, it would be like a sudden whatever subito piano, right? Or subito pianissimo, whatever, but it drops off. We build that intensity. So this is me in front of the band explaining to them now, because this is something you don't work on. When I'm talking about drilling, this is not something you work on in a section. Because everybody is doing it. You want everybody. You're going to build intensity. You want to get, as intense as possible, right to the edge of the cliff. We drop off. So you just feel it, and you just feel like, what the hell happened in here?
And you're expecting that climax, and then
but we're not jumping from 1 to 10. We're going up 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, because it's a long period. I think they're rolling for like 16 beats or something like that, some long period of time. So you have to give it time. So even if you stay down there at 1 for 2, 3, 4 beats, it's fine. When they start come up now,
Can feel that release, that
Yeah,
the energy
it's coming
release.
up, it's coming to the end. So you approach the different things that you can do, like, but it's really, for me, it's in the drilling process, it's really getting people an appreciation for what we want to see, what is the colors we want to explore, what is it we need to bring out. Single
Essential
tenors,
versus inessential, I'm sure.
single tenors, you might be playing a line and it might sound good, but that's not the important
Yeah,
part.
it's
That's just the
inessential right
color.
now.
That's the
Exactly.
color. That's fine. That is little seasoning. You understand? The meat very important. The seasoning important too, but this is
just so we have to we're gonna be wrapping up, but I'm hoping that we get another chance to interview Mr. Cordice, right? I'm hoping that we get another chance because you just the little explanation just now, the in-depth, the crescendo and the climax. You see the the expressive elements within Mr. Cordice, within that is what makes him, I believe, such a good musician, because he can explain exactly what he wants, where he wants it, why he wants it there. So those are some of the characteristics that I appreciate about Khan.
He can get you to buy into what he's doing.
That too, because just know me about to jump off a cliff just now, like, with it and everything. So I'm hoping that we get a chance
I
again.
thought you were going to say you're about to pull out your wallet.
Yeah. But again, as I say, hopefully, we get a chance to have you back again. Because of course it's always a good conversation.
Right.
Very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. Have a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge to share. And willingly share, by the way, because there are a lot of persons with knowledge and don't want to share. So just want to give you also I wanted to ask about we want to make sure that we get his Instagram handle, Facebook handle, and anything else, the social media, so that persons can follow you, and you have an event coming up soon.
Showcase in April 7th.
April
For
7th.
that one.
So question, is it international person can come in?
Yeah, of course. Who's stopping you? Come.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. All right, so showcase April 7th.
Showcase April 7th.
Okay.
Don't miss it. I mean, stay tuned. So the social media handles are very simple. On Facebook,
spell them
Khan
out.
Cordice.
Okay.
Khan Cordice Music. I'm
Not TAN. KHAN. Khan.
the only Khan Cordice in the world. So
Okay.
once you type it in on Google, you'll see my name come up.
They fact check that one.
Mama, fact check.
Okay.
Only Khan Cordice in the world. You can go and check it and see. Go on.
So
you might have a
KH
couple of O's on Google. If you go through all of them, it's the same Khan Cordice they talk about. Unless there's bad information. If there's bad information, then
Is it KHA?
KHAN CORDICE music. That's on Facebook. You can type in Khan Cordice on Instagram and you'll find it. But it's actually Casey_Dadley music.
Casey_Dadley. DADLI.
Yes.
Dadley music.
Yeah.
Music is spelled now, because I know people don't spell music with K and Q right now. Okay.
And there are two pages on Instagram. One of them is I don't know if it's a fake page or if it's a page I created a long time ago that I never used, but you'll see one have activity, the other one don't have activity.
Okay.
Right.
So choose the one with activity.
Right.
All right, cool. Novel, you have any handles that you need people to follow? You put that in afterwards. Okay, no problem, man. So once again, thank you very, very. Oh, sorry. Any final?
Oh, on YouTube as well. Khan
YouTube. You
Cordice.
can even tell the YouTube.
Khan Cordice on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a K. KHAN. Not CAN.
Okay, important.
Important. All right. So
That's it.
so again, any last word, anything? Done? All right.
I personally am going to need a handle.
Oh.
Well, I might need the handle to the door.
To open the door.
Information, you know what I'm saying?
So again, thank you very, very much for having for being here with us, for giving your knowledge and to us, just sharing everything with us. We wish you all the best as well, of course, and the bands as well, not only you, but to Exodus, well, all of the bands, Exodus and Arima Angel Harps.
Right.
Big up for allowing our good brethren here to get an opportunity
give me
to
the
jam
opportunity.
and arranging. So we appreciate that, and we're looking forward to good things as usual. So any
That's the
final
plan.
words? Are we good?
No, just to thank the Upscale team, for having me, you and your entire supporting cast, and everybody, for supporting this platform. We need much more of it in support of Steel Pan, in support of creatives, and in support of young people just wanting to do positive things in our world community. But everybody looking forward to Trinidad Panorama. That's next up. So we're gonna see what's up.
Of course, we're gonna be tuned in as well, right? So, again, thank you very, very much for watching us. As I said, thank you very much for tuning into the Upscale podcast where we speak all things steel pan related. And I'm your co-host, Kareem King, also known as TJ. This is
Christopher.
Jawan Henry.
and our guest for today.
Khan Cordice.
But
Thank-
we can't close off without doing it. Do re mi.
You know my can't say that. I don't know Let me just here one. I know I cannot sing.
We're going to clear cut.
No, never say class. Let me say the first part.
Okay.
Do
What that?
continue now.
Hey.
Do
Hey, what
man
that?
sing like
do the high ball.
Me for so.
I mean, I'm sing. You might. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Have a happy New Year. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Take care. All the best.